All right, shalom, shalom. It's another GMS lesson come back at. It's another GMS lesson come back at you. Before we do get into this lesson, we want to give all honor, glory, and infinite praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash. Next up, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us the 100% truth of the Bible and who rule well. Peace, love, salutations to all the brothers across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in all diligence and in sincerity. We were able to put together a Lord willing edifying lesson, on recompense. It's coming, man. Right? Recompense, payback, right? It's coming back to who? You other nations, right? You heathens, right? All the nations outside of the nation of Israel, which Israel being consistent of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, these other nations are our enemies, man. And we are under subjection up under them, right? Chiefly the so-called white man Esau, Edom, but all these heathen nations have had a hand in our downfall, man, and that payback is about to come back upon them, man. So you're just going to jump right into it.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
That's right. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Yahweh, who the word ignorantly calls God, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, who in the name of Yahushai, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, it is a righteous thing, right? To recompense tribulation, which means trouble, to them that bad times that to those that trouble us, man. Right? So all the things that we're about to bring out, all the precepts that we're about to hit, and all the things we're about to go into in this lessons, is a righteous thing to the Most High. This ain't this ain't stuff that we coming up out of our own vain opinion. It ain't nothing that we should think should happen, which we do agree with it. But this is all of the will of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, and He's with it. So we about to jump right into it. You got
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
And who has led us into captivity, man? The so-called white man Esau, Edom. But these other nations also had a hand in that. But chiefly, our main enemy is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And he has, still to this day, has us into captivity, has us in the land of our captivity here in America, aka Babylon the Great, right? So it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So what? This devil is going to go head first into slavery, and these heathens are going to fall right behind them for their part that they had in it. You got it?
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Right. And who was blessed with the sword? Again, Esau, Edom, right? And he has been devouring us ever since he made that covenant with himself, right? And I forgot the chapter, but in Genesis, he said, "Now the days of mourning my father, you got it, or?" Oh, no. But it's all good. We can paraphrase it. The days of mourning my father, Isaac, right? I shall slay my brother Jacob. He made that covenant with himself, and he's been true to that ever since, man. He is not our friend, right? So this is the faith and the patience of the saints. Who are the saints, right? The nation of Israel, right? And this is what we suffer, man. We're suffering, waiting on Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai to come back and flip this place upside down and usher in a kingdom of righteousness, man. Right?
This is the book of Obadiah.
What you got verse 10, Slacky. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's my fault. You're right. Slacky.
You ready? Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee.
That's right. And just going into what we were saying, for that violence against our brother Jacob, right? Because this devil made that covenant with himself that he was gonna slay Jacob, right? Because Jacob and Esau are twins, right? And that perpetual hatred has been passed down upon generation with these Edomites, man. Right? They have no love for us. They hate us. Right? So for that violence, for 500 years of hardcore slavery, for ripping babies out of the mother's wombs and feeding them to alligators, skinning the so-called natives alive and scalping their heads and stuff like that. So all those things they have done to us, all these atrocities, right? The transatlantic slave trade, dumping millions of jakes overboard into shark infested water. All these things that and much more. But what all these things? What? For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And you can see that shame coming upon them now. They want to take the history out of the books, right? They want to try to whitewash the history to make it seem like, slavery never happened and none of these things never happened. Try to paint a pretty picture of their history. But what? They are the devil, man. And they are evil, man.
It says, shame should cover thee, and thou should be cut off forever.
That's the judgment for this so-called white man. While all these other heathens, judgment is going to befall them too. They're going to go into slavery. But what? They're going to get their land back, in the kingdom. But what? Like we're going to read in another precept, this devil, Esau Edom, he's going to be eradicated from the face of the earth. You're never going to, after 100 years, 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, this devil is going to be wiped off of the face of the earth. You ain't going to never see an Edomite again, man.
I got a precept.
Yep.
This is James chapter 2, verse 13. For he shall have judgment without mercy.
That's right. He shall have judgment without mercy. The Lord ain't going to let up not one bit, right? Because hey, look, that's just the way it is. That's just the story of the Lord. So his judgment is just going to be flat out just as it is, man. Right?
Reading on, it said, for he should have judgment without mercy, that have showed no mercy, and the mercy rejoiceth against judgment.
That's right. And this devil has shown this devil has not let up whatsoever. Yeah, they took the physical chains off us but what? They shackled us and shackled our minds, man. Right? And let up not one bit. There's nothing that this devil does that has your best interest as it pertains to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. It's all for your detriment. The agenda for this so-called white man is to eradicate the Israelites off the face of the earth. Why? So he can get that blessing back, man. So for his same ruthlessness, right? That's going to come back upon his head, man. Yep.
That's it. Get the book of Isaiah real quick.
Yep.
This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1.
Yep.
For the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
Right. The Lord is going to have mercy on Jacob and choose Israel. Why? Because we're his chosen people. Again, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. The Lord is going to show mercy upon us again, first and foremost, through to the elect, who are going to be saved and live on the first go around, right? But the 2/3 that have to die here by pain are going to still receive the mercy, but just through the loins of the elect, being born into the kingdom, through the loins of the elect.
And set them in their own land.
Yep.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
The Israelite foreigners.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Yep.
Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Yep.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh Shema Shai for servants and handmaids.
That's right. So that's the point right there. So this is a future prophecy. This hasn't happened yet, man. Right? So we're going to take these other nations, these heathens, and we're going to possess them for servants and handmaids. Right? Just like they did us. Right? Read on.
It says, and they shall take them captives who captives they were, and they should rule over their oppressors.
Yeah, whose captives they were. We've been captives to all these nations, man. Right? All throughout the scriptures, you read about the captivities that we in throughout the different nations who we have been under subjection to. Not just the so-called white man, Esau Edom, even though he gonna get it the worst, right? But all these other nations, right? So we're gonna take them captives, whose captives we were, and what we're gonna oppress over them. We're gonna put them under subjection, man. Right? And this is coming in this lifetime, man.
Peace up.
Yep.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. And the Lord thy God, Yahweh Shema Shai, will put all these curses upon thy enemies.
That's right. We got a whole Deuteronomy 28, right? Verses 15. Well, verses 16 on down to 68 are all the curses that befell us for forsaking our power, right? So all those curses that befell us, right, which did happen, which is prophesied about and happened, is going to return, right? It's going to flip right on these heathens, man. And they're going to have to endure the same thing, man. But what? The difference is we ain't going to never fall out of rulership. they're going to be up under subjection, up under us, and with them curses forever and evermore, man. For as long as our kingdom goes, and we know that the kingdom of Yahweh Shah is an everlasting kingdom, man.
Mm-hmm. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7, and the Lord thy God, Yahweh Shai, will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee.
That's right. And that's simple and straight to the point, man. The Lord is going to do unto them what they did to us. Yep. And we can jump back to Obadiah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So just getting the point that what everything that these other nations have done to us is going to jump right back onto them, man. Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 15. For the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, is near upon all the heathen.
Right. It says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, man. So all these, and this is letting you know too that what, that the day of the Lord ain't gonna be pleasant to these heathens, man. Right? The day of the Lord ain't gonna be pleasant to 2/3 the majority of our nations. So how much more for those who are not even of the nation of Israel, man? Right?
Mm-hmm. It says,
mm-hmm.
For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
Yep.
Thy reward shall return upon thy own head.
Yep. The all the things that these other nations have taken us through. Yep. It's just going down to 18. Yep. All the things these other nations have taken us through is gonna fall right back on them, man. Right.
Verse 16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually.
Now, holy mountain, right? Talking about Israel, right? It says, so for if you have drunk upon my holy mountain, right? So shall all the heathen drink continually, right? What is that cup? That cup is going to be slavery, man, right? And under subjection and under the rule of Yahweh Shem Shai and the Israelites, man, right? You got it?
Yeah, they shall drink and they shall swallow down.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall be as though they had not been.
Exactly. Yep. You got it.
Verse 17. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance.
Yeah. Upon speaking of Israel, will be deliverance. Lord willing, we be a part of that number of the elect. We'll be able to be saved and delivered on the first go around, man. Right.
And there shall be holiness in the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
Right, and what are our possessions? The whole world was made for our sakes, so that includes everything in it, including these other nations, man. Yep.
Verse 18, and the house of Jacob should be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they should kindle in them and devour them, and there should not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai has spoken it.
That's right. And it says the house of Jacob shall be a fire and the house of Joseph a flame. We're going to be united as one kingdom. Northern kingdom, southern kingdom. We're not going to be divided ever again, man. And Esau, what is stubble? Stubble is what is kindled after the flame, right? So this devil, the Edomites are going to be no more, man. Right? They're going to be put into, after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, they're going to be gathered up, put in a bonfire, burned to a crisp, man. Right? Never to see a red Edomite ever again, man. Right? Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible, man. So look, Lord willing, that was edifying. Recompense is coming, payback is coming to you nations, man. And with that, we're gonna close it out, giving peace and love to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.